KUCR, University of California, Namm 2020. We're here with Nicholas from Catalinbread. First of all, people want to know, what is Catalinbread?
Catalinbread's been around for a long, long time. One of the first boutique pedal brands that I can remember, and I've been doing pedal stuff for 20 years. We're from Portland, named after a Salvador Dali painting. We have like 25 different pedals that we make. From pretty much every kind of pedal you could think of, we do that.
Okay, so you're hand built in Portland. Let me just ask you, are you helping to keep Portland weird?
As weird as we can.
Okay, well that's a thing, people. Anyway, let's talk about some of your new stuff here.
Yeah, no problem. Up first we have the Gigas. I named it after a character from the Earthbound video game. It's a fuzz pedal, but it does like 8 million things. It has a full wet-dry blend, which goes into a mids boost centered at 900 hertz, 10 decibels boost or cut. That goes into a tilt EQ. It's also centered at 900. When you roll it up, it boosts highs, cuts lows, and vice versa. The blend actually ends after the fuzz, so you can roll the blend all the way clean and use the EQ just by itself on the clean signal. It has a switch on the inside that recenters the frequency centers from 900 hertz to 250 hertz. So if you're a bass player, it sits right in that sweet spot. It can also boost and cut 40 hertz for recording purposes. Most people, most engineers just do that anyway, so the pedal can take care of it for you.
And Nicholas, you're the designer of this pedal?
I am.
And so what inspiration did you have in making this pedal?
Well, I've been building fuzz pedals for 20 years, and when I started at Catalinbread, they asked me, what do you want to build? And I said, I'm pretty good at fuzz. And they said, well, we only have one. And I said, okay, what do you want in there? And they said, anything you want. Okay. So I filled that thing top to bottom with every feature I could think of that anybody would want in a fuzz pedal. And I didn't want anybody to ever hear it and say, man, I wish it did X, Y, Z. I always wanted it to be as extreme or as subtle as you could ever get with any fuzz. And I think I pretty much nailed it. I've been working on it about 8 months. I finished it up about a week before Namm. I couldn't be happier with the result.
So when is it going to be available?
Well, the only thing we're waiting on is the pots. They click in the center on the EQ controls, and our distributor doesn't have them right now, so we're looking at like late March.
Okay, and the price will be?
Looks like a $199 street.
Oh, that's not a bad price at all. What have we got here?
So that guy is our Dirty Little Secret red mod. We have an original Dirty Little Secret, which is supposed to sound like a plexi, and it does that very well. But I wanted to make something that kind of sounded a little more modern, a little more high gain. So I kind of cut a little of the bulk out of the low mids. I filled the EQ section with a bunch of hi-fi stereo parts, so it sounds really responsive and crisp. Increased the gain on both channels. There's a channel switch on the inside that goes from lead to bass mode. And kicked up the gain a few decibels on both channels. It sounds exceptionally clear, and it stacks well with everything else we got.
So, and then you have two more. This is actually a new version of a pre-existing pedal.
Yeah, we have the silver one over there in the case, and we still sell that one too. This is just just a more modern sound.
A bit of a different flavor then.
Exactly.
And this here?
This right here is our Echorec. It's based on a vintage Italian magnetic drum echo. We've actually been selling this for a couple of years now. It's we nailed the sound so much that they went out and just bought the name. The original version is also called the Echorec. It's made by this company, Benson. It has 12 different programs, what they do is it's like tape head placement on the original, so it like taps in with all these different rhythmic delay options. David Gilmour used to play one. Eric Johnson plays this one right here. He has 2 of them on his board. It does everything that every other delays do: mix, swell, which can go to self-oscillation, delay time, and the tone knob, which the original all had, and it pretty much nails that sound.
So this is a recreation of the Benson Echo.
Yeah, but that one is really, really big, and if you find one for sale, they're like $5 grand, and the maintenance will set you back about $1 grand every time you get it sent. So Yeah, I think we got that one pretty good.
That's wonderful. We were just talking about the Benson a couple of days ago, so that's a great idea. And the last one there.
Yeah, that's our Epoch Boost. We have a pedal called the Epoch Pre, which is the preamp out of our Bell Epic Deluxe, and the original was really expensive and it was like kind of hard to dial in. This one, I just took that circuit and redesigned it to fit in a small enclosure. It gives 20 decibels of boost. It has the weird Echoplex mixer circuit in. It runs at 22 volts, just like the original Echoplex. You just plug in 9 volts and it spits 22 out. Has a high impedance buffer, so if you run long cable links, it kicks the treble back into the signal. It sounds like you're listening to a vinyl record, and it's basically a master volume for your whole pedal board.
Is it fair to say that if you're a guitar player or a person that loves to experiment with sound and sound creation devices, that if you're looking for a different flavor, you're looking for a fresh take on something traditional, that Catalinbread is something you need to check out?
We do everything. So yeah, everything we do, we take great pride in. We do a lot of vintage recreations. So if that's, if you grew up listening to classic rock records like I did, they got something for everybody.
Nicholas of Catalinbread, thanks for keeping Portland weird, and thanks for doing Catalinbread pedals.
Thanks for stopping by the booth. Thanks for having me. Check us out on Instagram, Catalinbread, Facebook, Catalinbread Effects, Catalinbread.com.
KUCR, University of California, Namm 2020.